So yesterday I was talking to a dear friend of mine who is a really famous drummer, and he played for a huge star, very, very, very famous musician, singer, songwriter, artist, based out of Nashville. Um, this particular artist and this particular band toured all over the world playing not just arenas, but stadiums. They made good money. They were living the dream, like flying around in Learjets, living on a beautiful tour bus, and everything was done for them. He didn't have to do anything but show up and play. He was living the dream. And through it all, he was a great guy, and his story is astounding. Again, multi-platinum records, winning Grammys, did it all. The artist decided, it well into his career one day that he wasn't happy, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do anymore. And so he decided to let everybody go from the band. He didn't fire them, he just decided that he needed a new band. So he gave them severance and let the entire band go. And it was done in a respectful and good way. But my friend now is left with this void in his life. He went from being the guy, right, in the band and doing the tours, making the money the whole life to now I'm unemployed. And he had been in this particular band for over 2 decades. So you can imagine that is a huge pill to swallow. I remember when it first happened for him, he was pretty bitter and pretty upset. But he turned that all around. And when I asked him how he did it, he said something to me that was reminiscent of one of my favorite artists, Charlie Daniels. He said, I just had to look at my life with a ton of gratitude. And when I say one of my favorite artists, Charlie Daniels, I say that because one of the things that Charlie used to say is you got to set your gratitude higher than your expectations. And I've always really liked that. Um, Gratitude is the grease, and gratitude grounds us in reality of what we have. I think all musicians, I don't care if you're just starting out, you've been playing for a while, everybody dreams of playing the arenas, the stadiums, playing the big festivals, being on the big stage, making the big money, right? Having that gig, like my friend had for many years, wanting to win Grammys and the awards and all that sort of stuff that we see on TV where the light shines so bright, right? But if we haven't reached that and we are having some success, though, having success playing in a weekend warrior band and you're playing covers down at the local pub and you're having fun doing it, we've got to learn, even if you have bigger dreams than that, to be grateful for that gig. Because what you want to remember is that if you're not grateful for that gig, there's going to be somebody outside waiting for you to leave that will be grateful for that gig. So it really grounds you in reality. Um, I also think that, and man, I tell you, when I say this, this is coming from a place of been there, done that. What you focus on it expands, right? So if you're focusing on the negative, um, negative is going to happen. And believe me, when I tell you that, even though I do all these videos that are motivational and trying to be uplifting, if for me it's easy to focus on the negative. It just is, it's kind of in my DNA, if you will. So I have to kind of really dig deep sometimes and focus on the positive. And it's something that I've found over, a 30-year um, career in the music business really helps me. I played, if you've watched any of my past videos, I've been the drummer for the Sam Morrison band for 26 years. And Sam's a dear friend, and he'll be the first one to tell me, hey, what you focus on is what's going to happen. And he's always right. So I just want to throw that into this video. And you know, I think gratitude gives us a mindset that if we have enough of whatever it is we need, we really have more than enough. One of the things when I was having this conversation with my buddy yesterday, he said, I'm just grateful for the small things in life. I can go into the next room and take a shower if I want to, right? He's really into history. He said, I like watching all these history documentaries on Vikings. And he goes, those guys would go months without bathing. He goes, I can go in the next room and take a shower. It's like, yeah. And you got a bar of soap. So it's the small things in life sometimes that we have to learn to be grateful for. So if you're a musician, you're working, you're playing gigs, you're creating things, you're working with other musicians, really be grateful for that because again, somebody else is out there looking for that. So sometimes this is all I've got. Is this enough? Well, that's, you know, more than enough, really, if you think about it, because none of us are promised tomorrow, right? Um, Gratitude also strengthens your resilience in rough times, and if you haven't had a lot of rough times, you will. I'm not being negative there. I'm being realistic there. It's not a matter of, if I break a snare drum head, it's a matter of when I break a snare drum head. It's going to happen, right? It's life throws us curveballs. Life sets us back sometimes. Sometimes life sets us back on our heels and knocks us down. And so, you know, being grateful for what you have when you get into those hard times, it'll strengthen, that resilience. The other thing I think it does too is it strengthens our relationships. If you're in a band and you're grateful for the band, you're grateful for the relationships that you've built within that band, no matter what it is, whether it's being on tour, being on the road, doing a couple weekend gigs, doing some recordings. If you're grateful for it and you really blow that gratefulness into what it is that you're doing, that's really going to help you a lot. It's really going to help the relationship a lot, and it's also going to help your mindset for what it is that you're trying to do within your band or within your group or within your musical career. And if you're watching this and you're not even a musician, great. Whatever it is you do in life, that gratitude, it's going to help you a lot in life. um, there was a time not long ago where I wasn't doing this. I wasn't setting my gratitude higher than my expectations. My expectations were so high. I was reaching for the stars. I wanted to be the guy on the big tour bus making the millions of dollars. And I think everybody that picks up an instrument at one point in their life or another wants that, right? And there was a number of things that happened in my life, and I kind of got to an age where I realized, it's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. If any of you out there know what Rolling Stone magazine is, and you know what, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm really grateful for the fact that I've been able to make a living as a musician for close to 30 years. I teach drums, I play drums in a band, I record drums. I've written many books on the subject matter. I have a podcast, The Drummer's Education Connection. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to all of those things that I just listed, some of the books that I have, um, all that sort of stuff. I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very incredibly thankful for everything that I've been able to do. And really, for me, what happened was it wasn't until I stopped and I kind of looked backward at what I had achieved. I was so focused on the next achievement that I never really was thankful for the ones that I had achieved. I just would achieve something and then I'd go next, then I'd achieve that and I'd go next. And I never took the moment and seized the moment to be thankful for it. So that's what I do now. That's what I have to do on a daily basis. And you know what? Life's a lot better because of that. So if you kind of find yourself there, no matter what your walk of life is, if you're a musician watching this, and chances are pretty good that you are, if you've sought this video out and found me and we're talking about music and you're wanting to achieve things, look, you can achieve them and you can achieve a lot of stuff in the music business but be grateful for it, be thankful for it. Set your gratitude higher than your expectations, no matter what it is that you're doing. And it's going to make for a much more pleasant ride for you through the waters of the music business, because believe me, they can get choppy. Hey, look, if you like this video, do me a favor. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button. And if you liked one of my suggestions more than the others, don't be afraid to put it in the comments below. If you didn't like this video, you want to put that in the comments below too, that's fine with me. I take them all. Anyway, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.